For dumbbell row, I like to lean on a bench like this, just so I could bend over more and get a better contraction. Whew. Yeah, those just feel great, man. The contraction on those are, because you can come in, you can kind of angle it in. When it comes to building your back, you want to do a lot of movements where you're bent over and have to row, and that actually would make your back stabilize. Those bent over movements are going to build overall mass on your whole entire back. Whew. And if you don't know how to flex your lat, or if you're doing these and you can't feel them, make sure you go lighter and just, you could really, what helps me connect with my back is holding the contraction and holding the squeeze. I'm going to go back and forth because I already connect well with it. Chest supported seated row. Now, when it comes to chest supported rows, they allow you to get a really good stretch and contraction because it keeps your chest in a fixed position. Whew. Yeah, that feels great. Just the stretch. The assisted pull-up machine, I feel my lats way more when I'm pulling up. And although it's assisted, I'm able to focus in and really pump up those lats. And this will help me get better with pull-ups in general. So I think you should do regular pull-ups and assisted machine pull-ups. It's up to you. Go which one you feel more. But pull-ups, arguably, one of the best back workouts you could do also. So make sure you don't skip some form of pull-up. Yeah, I mean, I connect way more to those with regular pull-ups. I mean, I have to get better at them, but regular pull-ups, I don't feel it as my lats as much. So I'm gonna stick to these until I get better at them. Then I can go to regular close grip cable pull down. I like to use like a medium grip. Keep it in front of you and drive those elbows to the ground. And then when you're at the ground, contract your lats as hard as you can, and then slow up. Yeah, those feel great. I definitely recommend having a close grip pull down in your arsenal. Don't try to pull it towards you, pull it in front of you. Now we have unilateral cable pull down, and it's crucial to do a lot of unilateral movements for every body part just to help with any muscle imbalances and anything just from occurring, because you never know, you could favor your right side more than your left. I like these a lot because I get a good stretch and I'm able to twist a little bit to get extra contraction. That was a good back day. I'm actually happy with the posing videos. Those posing videos, I could tell I had a really good pump. And honestly, that's what that day off does for me, man. So if I didn't take yesterday off, I just came in here, I would have felt weak and I would have had a horrible pump. I mean, what's the point of working out, right? You come in here to get a really good pump. I mean, that's what I train for. I love the feeling. I love being pumped up. But if you don't take off, man, if you don't let those muscle fibers recover, it's honest, you're never going to grow. And working out's not going to be as fun. You're not going to feel fresh, strong, pumped. So rest days are key, and also hydration is key. So I drink around, 2 gallons a day, maybe a little less, a little more. But you should only be drinking water. And a muscle, it's there's muscle tissue, but there's a lot of blood and water in there. So you want to enhance your blood flow, and you want to have plenty of hydration in your body. Therefore, your muscles will be more fuller. You'll have a really good pump, and you'll feel fresh and strong. But yeah, eating around 200 grams of protein a day, sometimes less, sometimes more. I might change my split up. I don't know yet. Tomorrow on the normal split would be hamstrings, but if I do change it, we'll see. I'm gonna see what I like to do. Bro split, so 1 body part a day. The only day where I do 2 body parts is bicep, tricep, arm day. But I'm thinking of just doing a day biceps only and a day triceps only. And I think I might combine both my leg days into one. But we'll see. Like I said, I go off feel, and I gotta see what works best for my body. But so far, arms and legs need to be hit twice a week, because my chest and my back, I could bring up my shoulders, but they're not like lagging for me. I'm pretty torso dominant, so the limbs is what I got to work on. I also had a new pre-workout today, and pump was great. Nothing like a good rest day and a new pre-workout could do for you, man. I don't know if I said on the last video, but I don't know if you saw, I have those grips. Ever since I incorporated those grips into my back training, my connection with my back, mind muscle connection, is skyrocketed. Because before I was focused on holding and gripping the weight, and my grip in my forearm would burn out before my back. Now it could keep up with my back, and I could go until my back hits failure. The main key on back, you want to be doing something heavy and bent over. So deadlift, barbell row, dumbbell row, T-bar row, stuff where you're bent over in a bent over position and you're rowing. Just like how squats develop the overall leg and not just one part, it's the same thing with a bent over row movement. So when you're bent over and have to stabilize, that actually brings your whole back together, and that gives your back a stimulus reason to grow. Because it's in a compromised position. When you're bent over, it's all back that's keeping you up. Of course, there's a lot of core and legs in there, but your back will really come up doing bent over stuff. So you want to do a lot of bent over movements for back. I like to do around 5 to 6 exercises, a little more rows than pull downs, probably half and half. But when it comes to back, rows are king. The pull downs are really good for getting a stretch and opening your lat and getting it pumped and just expanding it so more blood could go in there. But that compound meat and potato movement are those bent over rows. And if you don't feel it, like a lot of people tell me they don't feel it in their back on barbell row, you need to go lighter and hold the contraction and hold the stretch, and you will feel it over time. For the cardio today, we have the treadmill. I rotate from treadmill, bike, and Stairmaster on leg day. But upper body day is treadmill and bike. Just whatever I'm feeling, whatever's open. Yeah, I'm honestly feeling good. So I'm not going to take tomorrow off. I mean, I'm on schedule for hamstrings. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see if I split up my split somehow. But as of right now, we are on. This new pre-workout is giving me life and that rest day. And just, I ate a lot yesterday. But, that's enough for cardio talk. I will see you in the car. Just finished back. And my God, That was a good back day, bro. I mean, I'm psyched how that my back double looked in that posing video. I think I'm gonna get an Instagram reel out of that, which is good because I've been doing this long form content. I'm trying to get some short form out of it, just because you can't really post long form on Instagram. I mean, you could. It's not something the platform is looking to push or grow. So for now, we will be on TikTok. But yeah, man, that I felt those pumps on those day off. I'm so down to take rest days if it's gonna enhance my pump like that. Like that's why I train. I train for pump. So if you're training for strength, I mean, rest day is going to be crucial for everyone. Strength, pump, growing, cutting. So when I take my rest days, I don't even do cardio. So I take completely off from the gym. I used to do fasted cardio on rest days. Now I just don't do anything. And I train either 2 or 3 days on and then 1 day off. And I just do cardio post workout. Usually on rest day, I do it fasted, but I've been just recovering, eating, eat, sleep, train. And honestly, I do think at least once a week, you need a day where, especially if you're trying to put on size and grow, you need a day where you don't do anything. Like no cardio, no workout, and just grow. Because, the only way to get big is eat, sleep, train. You gotta eat, you gotta sleep, and you gotta train. A lot of people know how to train. Another hard part is eating. And then the hardest part, what I've noticed, is people don't get enough sleep. And they don't get a quality sleep. I think sleep is almost like everything, man. I mean, sleep is like your muscle building superpower. So, if you're not getting good sleep, I would focus on that first. I would, you could train, you could diet. I mean, you could get away with not sleeping a lot, but you should get your sleep in line first in your schedule before you really start going in. Because if you're not sleeping correctly, you're going to be leaving a lot of gains on the table. But when it comes to sleeping, you got to make the room dark. You got to make the room cold, and you can't have a lot of screens in the room. Like you can't be on your phone. The screen time keeps your mind running. And a game I like to there's nights where I can't sleep. I've been an insomniac before, and if you can't sleep, there's a game where I like to you almost like meditate, and you close your eyes and you see how long if your mind's constantly racing, you see how long you can go without thinking about something. So you make it a game to close your eyes and not think about anything, and see how long you go, and then each one gets a little longer, and then before you know it, you're falling asleep. But there's a lot of sleep aid supplements you could take. I recommend magnesium. I recommend melatonin. And whatever supplement line you're taking, there should be a sleep product. You should be. I don't take anything, but I smoke, so that helps me sleep. But if I did have problems, I would take magnesium or melatonin or a sleep aid product from a fitness supplement line that I was taking. That rest and sleep, man. That back double, man. That's came up a lot. Like I've been working on that. I still need to work on my back a lot, but I used to have no back, man, like none. And then the last 2 or 3 years, I put back as a focus, where I put at the beginning of my week, after rest days, and made it really intense those days. I focused on bringing my back up. In the last few years, it has really come up. I mean, I used to have nothing on that back double. Now you could actually see a little something, which is great. But I'm noticing my physique, I'm torso dominant, so I need to work on the limbs. So I might adjust my split to where I start, the beginning of the week, I start with an arm day, and then I do a leg day, and then I'll do a chest, back, shoulders, and split them up. But I think that's what I'm going to do, because that's what's best for me. And you need to evaluate your physique. You need to really have an eye for physiques and bodybuilding. See what you're lagging, and then you need to train accordingly. So let's take me for example. If you're lagging in the arms and legs, you should start your week when you're most fresh with arms and legs, not chest, back, shoulders, the more fun workouts. So always start your week with your weak point because that's when you're most fresh. And anything you could do to enhance your training session, do it. That's why I say do not go cheap on a pre-workout. Pre-workout is well worth the money, man. If you want to spend 40, 50, 60 on a tub of pre that lasts a month, I'm all for it. Anything you could do to enhance that training session is going to make your body adapt to that training session and then therefore grow. So I'm a big believer in not going cheap on a pre. I don't know if you heard me on my last video. I got a cheap pre-workout and I got a new one today and it's an expensive one. And oh my God, night and day. I threw the other one out. Even though it was a full tub, I threw it out because I'm just like, I cannot take cheap pre-workout. Because, cheap pre-workouts is really just like an energy drink. When you get an expensive workout, it has the pump products and everything that involves a pump in it, and that's what's really expensive, and that's what companies go cheap on because they want to make money on these supplements. So my advice would be to go expensive on a pre-workout, and you don't even need to get a protein. So if you go expensive on a pre-workout, don't even get protein, just eat real food. The supplements I think you only need are pre-workout, EAAs, creatine, fish oil, and multivitamin. That's all you need. So what is that? It's like 4 products. They're on average, $40 each. So yeah, it is a little pricey, man, but those would be the 4 basics that I think everyone should have, cutting or bulking. But so even though your pre-workout my pre-workout has creatine in it, but I still add creatine in it because I want to have a high dose of creatine. So even if it has creatine in it, usually it's not 5 grams or enough where you want. Usually it's like a smaller amount because they don't want to interfere with the caffeine or have too much ingredients. I like 5 grams at least of creatine pre and post training. So even if your pre-workout has creatine in it, I do recommend buying creatine on the side and adding it in as well. But yeah, we are pulling into my community. So tomorrow I think we either got legs or shoulders. We will see how I'm feeling, but as of right now, it's a go. So I will see you tomorrow on the next video, guys. Good night.